Hello, everyone. Once again, this is Dare to Speak. And I want to cover something that I kind of forgot to mention in one of my videos. For those of you who may have seen, should be, um, I mean, uh, should ghetto people or should being ghetto be shameful? A bad thing. And I pretty much made a good point on that. But I forgot to mention one small little detail and one little very important factor. Excuse me. Cut myself shaving a little bit. So the thing is, what I noticed a lot about, especially with my own race. I mean, it's the same thing with blacks too. But since I'm only going to be focusing on my own, on my own race, growing up in the ghetto and being kind of like, in a way, I had to be kind of like subjected in a sense, which I never did. But as far as the mannerisms, the character, and stuff like that, that I noticed with a lot of people growing up in high school, how they actually like to antagonize white people because they feel they have to. I mean, yeah, because of all the racism that's been happening to us, all the bullshit we went through. But that's no excuse to act like an asshole, to be narcissistic in behavior. And what I noticed about a lot of people that, what I say that behave way too ghetto, I mean, way too much. The thing that I noticed about them is just their level of arrogance that they have, their lack of control, of their need to compete, to have control over somebody. So when you argue with them, they raise their voice over yours. And then when you can't hear yourself talk, you try to raise your voice over them. And then they do the same thing and they raise their voice over yours. And it becomes almost like a Red Queen's paradox. They're trying to bring something to overshadow you. And then you do the same thing, and then they do the same thing. And then it almost comes like a war of competition and control, which is something that I noticed from a lot of these people that are not people that are just ghetto, not really so much with them, or even people that are laid back ghetto, like me, because I'm more laid back and also a little bit of a ghetto snob, kind of like mild ghetto, borderline whitewashed. I'm not exactly whitewashed. A whitewashed Hispanic, but I'm not exactly ghetto either. I'm like borderline in between. But anyways, the arrogance and this need to compete and the need to antagonize, and they do that just for fun too, for their own personal satisfaction because they feel they need to do that. And it happens to a lot of people, not just towards white people, but even people that are just regular, easygoing. It doesn't matter what race. And then this arrogance, that need to act like a badass, they think that their shit don't stink, are usually done by ghetto trash people. And this is the label that I give them, even though I really shouldn't be labeling, but ghetto trash people are actually a threat to humanity, in a sense that their arrogance and their need to compete and their immature behavior and their unreasonable behavior is getting out of control. And the only reason why I know that to be a fact is because when I have conversations with some family, like this one particular family of Mexican people that I became friends with. But I kind of knew them for about maybe a year, almost a year. And then the thing that I noticed about them is how extremely ghetto they are. I mean, they're nice people at the same time, but they're proud. Their pride of being ghetto is like it's like they feel they need to be that way because it identifies them. It makes them what they are, which is very stupid. And I used to talk to them a lot about ghosts and hauntings and UFOs and all whatever stuff, and we would watch movies, a couple of scary movies together with the family, with this family that I became friends with. But I noticed at first they were nice to me, but after a couple of months, after so many visits, they started to slowly become aloof with me because they noticed I'm a little bit whitewashed. The way I talk, my mannerisms sometimes, and they also notice I'm a little bit of a ghetto snob. They know that even though I never said anything, they actually asked me a few questions, and they noticed how I answered and about what I like and what I didn't like. And they pretty much, I kind of like felt that vibe of I don't like you because you're a ghetto snob, or I don't like you because you're a little bit of a sellout. And ever since then, they started to become aloof with me. I don't talk to them that much anymore because they moved to another part of town, which is really far away. And they never, and the husband, the father of the family, is kind of being distant from me. He hardly ever answers my phone calls. And in a way, I could say, well, the hell with them or fuck them. I don't really give a shit. In a way, I could say that, but in another way, I'm like, I mean, what the hell? I'm a cool guy. What I mean, I didn't talk shit about you or anything like that. Just because I favor a certain type of behavior that's more appropriate, just because I favor type of the language that because I use a lot of high level English or proper English, and sometimes they give me that look. That look like, what the fuck's wrong with you? You're not white. You're not suburban white. Why are you talking that way for? That's the way I talk. I like to talk that way. And I think and to me, I mean, not to sound like an asshole, but it is at some level. Talking proper English and the mannerisms of what they would call a whitewashed Hispanic, especially the language when you talk, is actually more of an obligation. We have to talk that way. Of course, to a degree, of course. I'm not saying that you should be ashamed of being Hispanic or anything like that. No, I'm not saying that. But you should be ashamed of being way too ghetto. When you overstep your bounds and become that way, and then I see the way when they get angry or when they argue with a certain neighbor, they start going like this and they move their head and all that, that stupid ghetto shit. There's no need for that shit. I mean, it's so fucking irritating. It's seriously fucking irritating. And it makes our race look bad. So being whitewashed Hispanic is not really necessarily a bad thing. It could be. I know a few, not very many, but I know a few um, Hispanics that are whitewashed. They're like this one Puerto Rican family that I know. Um, Not a big family, but they're extremely whitewashed, and they talk shit and like a narcissist, thinking that they're better than somebody else. Of course, people like that are assholes. They're bad. I mean, you don't want to associate with them. I understand that, but there's other people, Hispanics, that are whitewashed. They're not really exactly like them. They're not like them. They don't talk shit, but they just like to talk proper English most of the time. and they goof around like I goof around and I speak Ebonics or slang, just to be funny or whatever. Like I would crack a joke and then I would say, you know what I'm saying, motherfucker? Just just acting stupid, just being funny, and and that's the way it is. And I noticed that more and more Hispanics that are ghetto. I'm talking about way too ghetto. They get fucking annoyed with that, and they have this animosity, like act the way you're supposed to act. I'm like, fuck you, with the way you think. But aside from that, the main problem is, especially for the main reason for this video, is to show people out there that are extremely ghetto is you're just fucking stupid. I'm not saying this to be an asshole, but you're actually making the Hispanic race look bad. And there's a lot of good white people out there, just as much as there is a lot of asshole white people that are stuck up, that are racist. And I have come across some of them in the suburbs or in nice neighborhoods where I live. I have come across people like that. But fuck them. That's the way. If they don't want to talk to me because of that, because I'm Hispanic or whatever, that I'm from the ghetto, who gives a fuck? Fuck them. But there's also good white people. There's also white people that I like to be friends with. And it's getting to the point where I like to be friends with them more often than Hispanics. Not because I'm ashamed of Hispanics, of my own kind. I'm ashamed of a lot of their behavior when they become too ghetto, and their level of animosity towards proper behavior and proper language. Like it's a bad thing, and it's not a bad thing. I mean, give me your opinion for those who are watching this who find this video interesting, or if you feel like you want to contradict, just keep it reasonable, keep it, civilized or whatever. But speak your mind. Tell me if if what I'm saying so far, right now in this video is stupid and bullshit. Then just say it. But try to give a good convincing argument if you feel that way. And for those of you who agree with me, do the same thing. I just want to know your opinion, because this type of thing is an issue which needs to be addressed. So just give me your opinion, post a comment, and please subscribe if you like more of my videos, if you want to see more of my videos, if you actually like them. It's somewhere between 64 or 65 videos I made so far. And I plan to make a whole lot more in the future. Because, I dare to speak. I dare to speak what I feel I need to do. What I need to talk about, I mean. So this is my honest opinion. And again, post a comment. I want to know what you think. And so to all of you, take care.